This is the Ben Herman Show.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I've got a really special guest today. His name is Joe Bunn. He happens to be the owner of Bunn DJ Company, co-owner of Crate Hackers, Bunn DJ Gear. He's also a renowned speaker, influencer. I mean, you're just all over the place, man. I can't even keep track of his resume anymore.
It's a lot. If it's in the DJ space, I've touched it, hopefully.
Absolutely. So what have you been up to, man? Like, I know, again, you've got all these things that you're working on. What's the one thing that you're the most excited about right now?
Man, I mean, if I had to look at all the things, I'm super excited about the DJ's Vault, but I feel like in terms of mass DJ appeal, Crate Hackers has the most potential.
Yeah. And,
for people that don't know, that are listening or watching this, it's basically an app. I mean, we became a software company.
Yeah.
Aaron Traylor brings me this idea in 2020. Can't think of a worse time to start a business, especially for DJs, especially that you have to pay for.
Yep.
And it was called the Perfect DJ Playlist. And he was like, what do you think about helping DJs get their crates in order? Everybody's a mess, really, that I know. Because he had trained a ton of DJs in Nashville. And I was like, man, yeah, I like it. And we started it. No, we rebranded it, Crate Hackers.
Yeah.
And then we start sending out like PDFs. It was just
like, oh, really?
It was like a document.
Oh, okay. I thought it started off as
no.
Okay.
And then Glenn Renda, who is a DJ and a developer and an entertainer forever, works at a law firm in New York. He was like, man, I mean, I'm a member. I like what you're doing, but this is not good. It's not it. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, this guy's whipping up some software. And then it's just, it's grown in different iterations.
Another. Yep.
I mean, we're every time we put out a new version and comes out of beta, we're getting ready to push out the next one or already thinking about the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
The redesign, like what would make it better? What do people like? What do they not like? What are people hitting on? What are they not hitting on? So I feel like in terms of mass DJ appeal, no matter if you're mobile, if you're club, if you're what hobbyist, that's the one that could scale to be really big.
For sure.
I mean, it's already 4,500 members. Like I think about that, and I'm like,
for sure.
I'll go to a concert like at this Red Hat Amphitheater in Raleigh. I'm like, this is like a 4,500 seat venue, and it's massive. Yeah. That's how many members we have.
Right.
It blows my mind.
It's amazing, man.
It blows my mind.
Huge accomplishment. For those that are sleeping on Crate Hackers and are still like new to it and don't even understand what it's about, do you mind summarizing kind of,
I would say that, I mean, number one, cratehackers.com, just try it. You don't have to pay for a year. Pay for $30 for the first month. If you don't like it, quit. Mm-hmm. But the summary is, not only do we have like custom curated crates that are in key and BPM. So like, let's just say you had a 90s hip hop party and you wanted to play this crate of 20 songs. You could play it in order, in key, and sound like a rock star. Or the thing that I use the most probably is the Spotify importer. So now I ask my couples to give me a Spotify link, especially to their open dancing. Mm-hmm. I drop that in Crate Hackers. Now previous to that, I've already had Crate Hackers scan my entire library. So it knows every song I have. I think I keep about 8,000 or 10,000, right, on my hard drive.
Yep.
Crate Hackers scan my library. Now I've dropped in the Spotify link into the importer. Now it is basically matching what is on their Spotify list with what I have on my hard drive, and then tells me everything I'm missing. And then at that point, I can hit a drop down, boom, look at all the record pools that have it, boom,
click and download, right?
And,
just like
grab it. And it just, man, it makes your job so much easier. If nothing else, just that feature to me would be worth $30 a month.
For sure.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's a great tool.
Our DJ company in California is a multi-op, and as you can imagine, multi-ops, I mean, you're one of as well. On those busy weekends, man, we're creating, multiple playlists. I mean, countless of playlists for clients during the peak season, and it can get quite overwhelming for our office staff, right? And so to be able, I mean, we're fans of Crate Hackers. We use it, and it just has saved so much time. So
it's
look
a game
at it
changer.
as like saving on payroll too for your multi-ops out there.
Yeah, it's a game changer for sure.
What about the DJ's Vault, man? So what's new with the DJ's Vault?
The
It's
Vault,
year number 4.
Yeah, the Vault year 4 was yesterday. So we're shooting this, I don't know, end of February.
Yep.
And, you know, smaller membership, more like 1,300 people. It's been kind of plateaued at that for a while. But I mean, even just last night, like walking around that party, right? How many people came up to me and were like, man, thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you for these resources. I use the Vault all the time. Every time new stuff comes out, I'm in it. So,
That's great.
you know, for me, the membership almost tells me what to make.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to see a video on this, that, or the other. Sometimes I'll just blatantly ask them, hey, I'm getting ready to shoot for this month's content because I drop new content on the first day of every month.
Yep.
5 or 6 new videos and usually a couple of documents they can use internally at their companies. What do y'all want to see? You know, and I'll usually get 5, 6 comments.
Yeah.
And I'll have, you know, I've always just have a running list of things that I think I need to shoot. And this will be, I guess maybe in a week or so, like version 3. So we're coming out with a new skin, if you will.
Platform,
It's going to look a little different. It gets overwhelming, you know, now at year 4. I mean, there's
so
think
much
about it,
content
there's
inside, right?
hundreds
Yep.
of videos in there,
Yeah.
hundreds of videos.
It's almost like a Netflix now.
That's what it is. That's when, if
yeah.
you look at it the way it is now, that's the way I told Glenn to make it.
Yeah,
I said, make it look like Netflix. So but it's almost too much. So I'm gonna try and make it a little more, hey, stuff, need marketing help? You know, watch these, boom, 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 boom.
Gotcha.
Because we tagged them all, and then stuff that didn't perform well, I took out. Stuff that's dated. There was a lot of COVID stuff in there. I can't even say that word anymore, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I taken all that out.
Yeah.
So things that didn't perform well, normally I think were title. I tried to be too cute with the title. And I'm like, I can bring this video back. Like it had 1 view and I'm like, this had to be a bad title. Because I watched the video the other night and I'm like, this is a good video.
Yeah,
Like this needs to be moved somewhere else.
Definitely.
It just got pushed from bad titling. So
Makes
the
sense.
new version is coming out.
Yeah. I mean, you understand advertising too. I mean, you're an expert marketer, man. So you understand like the headline is what, you know, gets the clicks.
That's
right.
right. That and the thumbnail.
And you think about like Netflix, man, like I've noticed that even the thumbnails change because they're constantly trying to test on the same movie or the same show.
Yeah.
Just to try to see which thumbnail actually, it's same with YouTube, right? So it's like,
I
they're
didn't really think
using
about
that same A/B split test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, because that's how stuff gets to be trending. I mean, that's why it ends up on that front page.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really smart of you, man, to like take a look at the analytics and then try to see if you can retitle it to repurpose it, right?
I have to, man, because some of that stuff, I'm like, there's no reason one person out of 1,200 watch this. Like, and it was probably me checking to make sure it worked. And I'm like, how did this fall flat?
Yeah.
So some of those I'm going to try and bring back or redo them if they're out of date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that was the problem.
What about Bunn DJ Company? What's going on?
Man, the DJ company crushed. I mean, like we came out of the pandemic, and then everybody like you had to catch up.
Absolutely.
So that was what 2021 basically was, and then anybody else there.
Well, I'm assuming you guys opened up a lot earlier in North Carolina because California, right? I mean, it was super strict.
It was a full year.
Yeah.
It was March 2021 when we got going again.
Okay, we opened up June 2021.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
April, yeah, you were 3 or 4 months
later.
behind.
Yeah, for sure.
It was about right at a year. I remember. I was like, okay, we're back. We're doing shows.
Yep.
But it was. I mean, you know, you lived through it. It was horrible. Like it was. I mean, I was legit like, wow, am I going to have to do something else? You know, and even people were like, dude, are parties going to be back? Like, is this like the end of social, you know, interaction? And I was like, no, man.
I had a feeling, man, that like once this was past us, it would be a party.
It's that whole great, you know, big boom or whatever they called it after the Great Depression.
20s actually.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of crazy, right?
Absolutely. It is fully back. And we just had a killer year. Prices go up a little bit every year. Everybody that moves to that area or which is immense numbers of people are moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. It's just
that's great.
Every Fortune 500 or you know top 20 places to move list on every magazine, we're in it. It is just consistently in the top 10. Yeah. And so if I look out of my window, which faces downtown, crane, like they're just
lots of construction.
Yeah.
So it's a growing area.
Huge.
It's great.
And everybody that moves there that was doing this for, you know, Ben Herman in California, but moved to Raleigh, they reach out to us.
Yeah.
And I snap them up. I'm like, look, man, you're not going to work next weekend.
Yeah.
But once you get trained up, and normally they're working DJs. That's always been our model.
Yeah.
We don't hire, girls or guys that are completely green. We hire people that were working somewhere. So once I kind of integrate them into how we do things, they're ready to work.
Yeah.
So we spent all Super Bowl Sunday up until the game training these new DJs, or
Nice.
really just integrating them into the system because they know how to play.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're quite busy. You've got all these moving parts.
Yeah.
How long have you been a DJ for now?
Man, this will be, I think I started when I was 13. I mean, my mom would take me in the, back of a Wagoneer with like a home stereo. So
I think we started right around the same
38.
age.
I'm 38. I mean, no, 38. I'm 51. 38 years
38
ago.
years, gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, you've DJ'd longer than I've been alive.
I know.
I'm 36.
I know. Right. I figured you were 30s, early 30s.
Yeah.
It's
Wow, that's
crazy.
incredible.
Yeah. And I had a few other jobs, I guess. I real estate agent. I worked for
Red Bull or something.
Yeah,
too?
I worked for Red Bull for maybe a year and a half. Just because I was good at promotions and marketing. This was when Red Bull was new.
Yeah.
I
remember it
no
too,
wings ads, no nothing. Like,
gotcha.
And I worked for the distributor in Raleigh. And so I would go to like the bars. There were people that went to convenience stores, but I was the guy that would go to the bars and try and sell it in. And again, nobody knew what it was. And you're asking for $33 a case. People are like, get out of my, dude.
Were you able, at least
It's 5 cents to put a thing of, Jack and Coke. The Coke was a nickel.
Yep,
They're like, you're wanting $3 for a can? I'm
get
like,
out of here, right?
Get out of here, dude.
But were you able to pick up some gigs from that? Were you like,
I
happen to be a salesman, but I'm also a DJ.
I think that's how I got the gig,
Yeah.
the gig with Red Bull, because at that time I was still playing in those little bars and stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
So that would have been, God, man, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe longer. So I was still in that age where I was like, I'll go out and play, once or twice a week at a bar, or even leave a wedding and go to this, these I don't want to call them clubs. It was like a bar.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
They had a DJ booth though. You just had to show up and play.
Yeah, gotcha.
So he probably hired me because he thought I knew all the bar owners, which I knew a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to find out, man. So, I mean, you've gone through decades in this industry.
Yeah.
How do you see it evolve from when you first started to now?
I've seen it. I mean, there's two things that come to mind, like right off the top of the dome. One is the technology, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish I remember the year it was here. I was telling somebody this story last night. Randy, my right-hand guy that's still with me, we were here in Vegas. We were at the show we're at now. It used to be called Mobile Beat.
Yeah.
We went to Rain, which was in the Palms, the club at the top.
Yeah,
the roof comes off.
I remember that. Yeah. I think it's still there. Maybe?
I don't know if it's called that.
Okay.
Moon or Rain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Top of the place, roof came off, like it's going off, and we kind of, the way you could walk behind the DJ booth, almost like a hall, and you could kind of see like over the booth, and I was like, yo, what is this dude doing? And he had a laptop, and I'm like, but he's got decks, like he's playing like, and that was like right around when the SL1 came out, and like AM was playing here.
Scratch Live,
remember that. At Hard Rock, I forgot what it was called. Body English.
Body English.
Yes.
Yep. Remember that.
So whatever era that was, and that SL1 box with all those stupid RCA cables, and we went to the trade show the next day, the gear part of this show, or of Mobile Beat.
Yeah.
They had like 2 left, and me and Randy snapped them up, and then we didn't play live with those for 7 months.
Oh, really?
We were still ripping CDs into MP3s, and we were terrified. Like the first gig I did, it was like a house party. It wasn't a wedding.
Yeah.
I was like, if this goes south, I'll just get out my CDs, because I was still using the CDJ 1000s hooked up to the SL1 box. And then the other thing is just, and you've seen it too, just the formalities of weddings, which is primarily what I do, have changed. The bouquet toss kind of becoming non-existent.
True.
The garter toss becoming non-existent. A lot of people don't even want to announce the cake. They'll just go over and cut it and take a picture and then back to dancing.
Like a donut wall.
Or some other dessert altogether.
Yep.
introductions aren't so formal. You know, you can do the first names. Sometimes just the couple. Sometimes I'll say, and now the bridal party. I don't have to do any of the names.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think a lot of the formal stuff that, you know, when our parents got married, it's not the norm anymore. You know what I mean? It's becoming rare. And then of course, the main thing would have been the change was nobody gets married, at least in North Carolina, nobody gets married in a church anymore.
True.
And so the DJ became a freaking sound man, which is not what I want to do. It's without a doubt the worst part of the day. To me, it is because it's super stressful.
Oh yeah.
And I got nice shit.
High stakes,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, it's stressful. I always compare it to golf, even though I don't play. Like, it's like, if you mess this up and shank it into the woods on the first tee box, like, you still have, what is it, 17 holes left to play? Is it 18 holes? Right. I'm like, now Tiger Woods or somebody that can pull that off, because he's just like, well, it happened. I can still win this tournament. But like, some people will truly falter from that moment.
Yeah. What would you attribute to all of your success? Like, what would you say, maybe a piece of advice that you received from someone? Or something that you did?
I think it was all just like staying in your lane. Any diversion, any getting out of the lane, disaster. I mean, I bought houses and flipped them. I mean, I was with a partner and just completely robbed me blind because I didn't have my money on it. I mean, my eye on the money. I was trying to build my other business, the DJ company. He was supposed to be running that and just completely robbed me blind. Hats or t-shirts or this, that. I mean, just these random side projects, just if they weren't DJ related, they didn't work. And it was just either lack of passion or lack of time or spread myself too thin. If it had to do with the DJ business or industry, it worked.
Did you go to college?
I did. I went to Carolina.
Gotcha. For all years or?
90 to 94, yeah, graduated.
Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha. Nice. I guess, not to toot my own horn here, but I was a little smarter than you then, because I decided not to graduate high school.
Yes.
I went straight
to
start the DJ business. So.
Yeah, I've heard that story when we did the webinar. I was on there a couple of times and I was like, wow, that's not what I expected to hear.
Yeah, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Kiyosaki, man. He inspired it. It was like, talked about, academic smarts versus, business smarts. And I always felt like, man, for some reason I struggled academically, but I just
that surprises me, man. Like, I don't know, just because the way your businesses are and the way you are successful. Now, I'll say this: it's a different generation. So I have a son this year going to college. Yeah. If he had approached me 6-9 months ago when he started looking and been like, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to school. I would have been like, dude, that's cool. Like, what are you going to do? Do you want to do a trade or? You need to go to a trade school or something. If he had said, I don't want to go to college, I would have said, cool. Yeah. If I had told my parents that in 1990.
Yeah, different times, right? For sure.
They would have lost their minds.
Yeah.
They would have lost their minds.
I was like in that in-between generation.
Yeah, exactly.
My parents were still, they both had their master's degrees. And they definitely wanted me to go the traditional route. Yeah. So I was a huge disappointment,
Right to them, right.
But then once I built a business,
then they get it.
Around,
right.
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, you saved them $140,000 probably. Like, put that
welcome.
Put that towards your retirement. You're welcome.
There you go.
Or whatever, depending on where you would have ended up. I mean, it's crazy expensive. Yeah. The only thing I will say about it is, the thing I do love about my son is that he actually knows what he wants to do. Like he's a fashion, right? He's a fashion guy, man. Yeah. And he makes stuff. He's mad creative. He has no DJ interest, but man, he will go. I have him. He calls it a studio. It's a storage building.
Well, everyone's got to start,
Yeah, with a roll-up door, and he's got like a little heater in the corner, and he's got a couple sewing machines, a screen printer, and he's in there just making stuff.
Cool, man.
And and he's smart, like actually book smart. So I think these schools are like, oh, we want this kid. Yeah. He's smart and he's creative, which is kind of rare.
Yeah, definitely. What did you study back in college?
Dude, this was the lamest story. It was called industrial relations, and it was econ and sociology, tons of both of those classes. But at Carolina, after 2 years, I wanted to go to business school. It's the Keenan School of Business. Okay. But you have to so you go the first 2 years, then apply to go the last 2 years to this business school. It's still undergrad, right? Yeah. And there was some econ class that I couldn't pass. It was, the guy didn't speak English well at all. And it was very hard as it was. And I mean, I had to withdraw. I took a W on it, is what I called it. And I just was like, oh, I'm having I don't even remember what I said, back problems, family problems or something. Somehow I got out of not taking an F and took a W. And then, but that was like a key class to go to this Keenan school. So that was basically the cop-out, industrial relations.
Interesting.
But I don't, again, going back to what you were saying about not going to school, I don't think that I carried anything that I learned in those 4 years to not even present day, but from day one of school. I mean, of owning a business. I don't remember like any particular class like where I pulled this golden
nugget, right? Yeah.
I don't, man. And it's just kind of sad. Now, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I played all the frat parties. It's probably how people started to know me. The brand and the Bunn DJ company name, you know, ascended at that point. Like it just became synonymous with these just insane late night ragers. And back then, not everybody was a DJ. Right now, anybody can DJ.
True.
But back then, you had to have the music, you had to have the gear.
Gear was expensive too.
Oh, stupid! I had a trailer full of stuff.
Yeah, for
trailer full of stuff. Amps, you know, speakers, turntable. Just, I mean, tons of gear.
Like nobody will even know what a banana plug is.
Exactly, dude. Oh, trust me. And I hated them. They were terrible. Because then they'd fall apart, and they had those little bitty screws in there to get the wire back in the banana.
Oh man, that's
garbage. I don't miss those.
So where did you get your business knowledge from? And you know, what would you attribute like learning how to build Bunn DJ Company and then all these other businesses over time?
Man, I mean, I think if I look back historically, like family-wise, my grandfather was like an entrepreneur. So he started this rope factory, and I never really got why. Like they make rope, like for hammocks, or they make the handles on the Yeti coolers.
Oh, cool.
The jacket, you know, when you zip your jacket up, the little piece of cord, or the blinds, you know, when you pull your blinds, when they used to have, you know, the cords on them. Now they don't, but the starter cords on a weed eater, like they made all that stuff.
They still run?
They still go.
Oh,
my dad still works there. He's 79. He still goes in.
Incredible.
I mean, he ain't exactly like, you know, putting in crazy hours anymore, but he goes every week, and then he's at the beach probably 4 days. So he's 3 in, 4 at the beach. But if I'm 79, I want to do the same thing, you know?
For sure.
He just don't want to quit because it's like history now. You know what I mean? I feel like he doesn't want to get out of it. He asked me 1,000 times. I mean, I'm talking about,
right? Like
through my 30s. You want to work here? No. Through my 40s, you want to work here? No, still no. I mean, he probably stopped asking me about mid 40s, like when he realized that I was making way more than I would ever make in the textile business. Because again, it's gone to China, it's gone to the Philippines, it's gone to Turkey, it's gone to all the textile industries have just, you know, gone where cheaper labor is, cheaper product.
Do you have any siblings that are willing to take it
my
on?
Sister, right, lives in Montana. That's where
Greg is from there.
And he met with my sister, but she's a DJ out there. And so she didn't want to take over, you know. He even asked AD, my sister's husband, what do you think about taking over the cord company? Like he was trying to go like to the, you know, non-family, somebody just to keep this thing going. And I think we just all passed on it. You know, it's just such a tough business. And, you know, me and my sister love this now. You know what I mean? Like, and my sister didn't get into this until 3 years ago. I mean, she's 48 years old.
What did she do before?
She was accounting, bookkeeper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bookkeeper. And mom, you know, taking care of her little boy. She had a little boy kind of late in life, but she just was like, man, you look like you're enjoying what you're doing. What do you think about opening a DJ company out here? And I'm like, I'll show you how to do it. And next thing you know, she couldn't really find talent. So she's out there playing these parties.
Wow, that's amazing.
And rocking, like she's killing it.
That's
Reviews are coming in. I'm like, wow. She literally started DJing at 45 years old.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
That is incredible. So you are, you know, you have multiple branches of Bunn DJ Company all over, right?
Yeah. And you know, so we're Montana, Raleigh, Charleston, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina, and then San Diego. And they're all, I don't know that I could have done it if Ben came to me and said, Ben lived in Dallas, and you go, hey, let's open an office in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Just random DJ Ben, right?
Yeah.
All those people at some point, other than my sister, worked for me in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And your sister's family, so.
Yeah, that's family.
There's
I mean,
trust,
right?
So,
It's like it could go either way.
Yeah,
it could go,
sure.
but it went great.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I could really truly franchise it. They're really just licensees.
Yeah.
They worked at Bunn DJ Company in Raleigh. They expressed interest. Hey, man, I would like to do more, or I want to own this, or I want to do what you do. How do I make a career out of this? Because you can't. If you work for a multi-op, it would be very difficult to make a living, especially if you have a family.
Yeah. For
right.
Sure.
Couple kids.
Unless you manage it, maybe full time.
Yeah, right. You would have to play a lot like Randy.
Yeah.
And then manage the business.
Yep.
And he does but never got married, never had kids.
Gotcha.
House is probably paid off, car's almost paid off.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a high overhead.
Yeah.
So he can make a living.
Pull it off.
But most of my guys, all of the guys have other jobs.
Yeah.
They have other jobs.
Gotcha.
They have full time. The DJ thing is just Disney money or wife's pocketbook money.
Yeah.
So anyway, those other offices were all born out of people that worked for me. And I don't know that they would do as well if they had not come from my camp or my circle.
I'd love to switch gears.
Yeah.
In regards to investment strategy for any of the businesses, Bunn DJ Company, Crate Hackers, the DJ's Vault, what's on your horizon for 2023?
I think, for me, I will always invest more in something that I see more potential in, right? For Bunn DJ Company, the motto has always been just keep your foot on the gas. Because there are some competitors in Raleigh.
Yeah.
We definitely lose shows to people. It's usually price related because we try and stay at the highest end.
Yeah.
We're always doing, the open house here or the networking. I mean, I still go to networking events 2 Tuesdays a month, me personally.
Gotcha.
So it's always like foot on the gas. You know what I mean? I never want somebody to take away what I've built there. But we don't have to have the ad in the magazine anymore. We don't have to go to the cattle call 1,000 brides 2-3 day wedding show anymore. Like we'll do the one where 50 brides will come through,
smaller,
or 50
ones.
couples come through, the intimate ones. The Vault and Crate Hackers is just double down, man. Everything. I mean, I got new people now running the marketing for the Vault, which is going to be
great.
More ads because we kind of just pulled everything back and just let it run.
Yeah.
Now I want to see can it ramp up? So I've got a new team working on that. And then Crate Hackers, man. I mean, we made Glenn, the developer, owner now. So now we truly own the software. He's got a small percentage of the company, and we're just. I mean, that's why. The guy in the elevator yesterday goes, "Hey, you're the Serato face guy," and I go. Like of all the shit that I've done, that's the one thing the guy knows me, and I'm like, I just go, yeah, man, that's me.
Yeah.
I didn't say like, oh, what do you, I wrote for this magazine, I spoke at this. No, I just go, yeah, man, that's me. But man, we're just, I mean, that's Dominic's job. I mean, he just hammers down when he sees that things are working, and it is, man, it is still growing every day. Just boom, boom, boom. Somebody else signed up, and trying to make it better so that they stay.
Yeah,
that's always the hard thing with a membership.
Definitely,
because you go through your account probably every month or so and go, I haven't been to that gym, or I'm not using this movie pass, or
for sure.
And that's what people do. So we need to make them stay.
Definitely.
That's the key.
What about in regards to your ads? Man, you're such a marketing genius. Like some of your ads are so hilarious, so creative. Where do these ideas come from?
All right, so I don't accept the term genius because some of them are so inspired by it's almost like shot for shot. Like we just made that real life versus infomercial.
Gotcha.
We just saw some guy make a real life versus infomercial reel of just
TikTok
just that. And we were like, let's make a DJ version.
Yeah.
Or even I remember it was like the workout one I did where I was lifting DJ gear, doing uplight swings. We had seen it was a beginner workout for conservatives or something. It was like putting on the MAGA hat or something. It was just this guy went through a whole series of just
funny things.
Funny things with work that were, he was in a gym or I green screened a gym in, you know. But, you know, so some of them are inspired by other ads or other creators. You know, Dom's always sending me stuff. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Like if it doesn't hit me like right away, I'm like, nah. Sometimes we'll just get ideas. Yeah. You know, like, or whatever, blowing the dust off your crates or whatever. And we blow, and then like somebody was laying on the ground with a CO2 gun, and just, as soon as I went, you know, they just blows out. Yeah, and it's like, we just jump, stuff like that. The whole Serato face thing, we'd always, you know, heard that term of people just kind of slack jaws.
We see those
staring at. People were doing it last night. I do it. I mean, you get like, if you're not prepared, you kind of get lost. Yeah. And that kind of became a thing, and you know, or those Mayhem ads. People were like, "Yo, you look like that dude from the Mayhem." When I had hair. Yep. And I was like, "Yeah."
Did you say you dressed up one year for Halloween or something?
That's how it started. I dressed up one year. My costume didn't come. I was supposed to be the Joker, and I went. When I did the Joker, like I did it maybe 3 years in a row, and something didn't come this particular year. Oh, there's these like scars, like prosthetics. They didn't show up, and I was like, man. And I would sit there. All out. Like I would sit there for hours. When I had hair, she would add like green hair extensions, like
some professional makeup.
Oh, yeah, dude, I would sit there for hours, and then I would not break character. Like I was in it like Heath Ledger in it for hours, walking around the neighborhood. Nobody could talk to me. I was just that guy. I mean, I had I had it down to the socks that he had on in the movie. Yeah. The pocket watch. The right knife, like, I mean, I had it down. Wow. And something didn't show up, and I was like, this sucks, I'm furious. So I just went and put on a black suit. I put a butterfly Band-Aid on my face. And dude, I got more attention over that stupid Band-Aid. Like, little kids were like, oh, the dude from the
commercial,
TV
right?
commercial. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, and then we just were like, man, we might as well make some commercials as this guy. And if they send a cease and desist, like that's when we know we've made it. Yep. Yeah. That's like mass appeal. We've hit all audiences.
What about the one that you cut a car in half?
That was
cut the roof off.
But that was more of like a promo video for the company versus an ad. But it was purely inspired by the Kanye West and Jay-Z video.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Otis, cool. Remember when they cut up that Maybach? And then they
so you do get inspired from other. You draw these ideas.
I'm always like putting notes in my phone or taking pictures of things and just being like, could we do this or could we shoot that? And before that, before video became so big, it was photos. Yeah. I would just see something like in a store window and be like, ooh, can we recreate this? Yeah. Whether it was
your own spin on it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Exactly. You know how can we make this relate to what we do? And so I was just always like eyes up, you know, taking pictures. Writing down notes. I mean, the Crate Hackers are me, Dom, Glenn, and Aaron. Aaron in Nashville, right? Yeah. Me in North Carolina, Dom in Georgia, and then Glenn's in New York. So now that we're here all together in Vegas, and Vegas is, you know, an interesting place, as you know, you live here now. Yep. There's a lot of cool things to shoot here.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, before we wrap things up, man, what I'd love to do, I always love doing this, is asking the person I'm interviewing to speak to that one DJ out there right now, right? Think of that one person that's aspiring, they're looking up to you, and they're like, man, I want to be Joe Bunn one day, right? What advice would you like to give them?
Man, I think that the main thing that I've done wrong is, I don't want to say mismanage money, but not saved enough money. And I'll twofold that with everything you need to do is you need to run lean. There is no, and you can attest to this, especially now that you've moved out here, right? You don't need a floor of an office building. You don't need 6 people, a gear manager, an assistant, a DJ manager, you don't need 7 vehicles with 7 trailers and 7 sets of full gear. Like it's just, you can run so lean, you don't even need an office space anymore. Like I made a video on this the other day. Like I used to preach that when the vault opened, I was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you, you don't need, again, like a floor of a Class A office building, but you should have an office. Get a WeWork space, get a, whatever, get a co-share
professional
space.
Place.
Sure,
meet clients.
where you can meet clients.
And employees too, actually. Right?
Exactly, sure. And have trainings and stuff like that. I haven't seen a couple in person, man. maybe in over a year.
Yeah.
I cannot beg people to come back to that office. And it is, I mean, it's laid out with uplights in the corner, and there's a photo booth over here, and there's a refrigerator full of wine and beer, and it's like, I can't get people to come back.
Yeah.
It's just, everything is Zoom now. And
but
so
luckily you can still use it for content shooting.
I do.
All the stuff from
and
remote,
I need a space to go and just work, right?
Sure.
I don't have an office in my home.
Yeah.
I like going there and working there. We shoot in the back. Like, it's just this little 500 square foot office, right?
Yeah.
I think I pay $1,500 a month for it.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not shelling out all this money. Pay your DJs well, that's critical. I've got guys that have been there over 20 years now, because they work, they rock, they get paid on Monday, direct deposit.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. It all kind of goes back to the money, though. Like, run lean, save money, put aside money for taxes. Like, Profit First, great book. You read that one, Mike Michalowicz?
I have a signed copy.
Right. Isn't that Mike Michalowicz?
Mike Michalowicz.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Great guy. In fact, he came on during the pandemic. Dude, he looked like he had been up for 3 days talking to people. Yeah, he had a beard. And he went off.
Yeah.
I'll send you that webinar. It's in the vault. It's in the vault. He went off that day.
Wow.
He was holding up, like, he wasn't even doing like shared slides. Like, he was holding up paper, like, as his slides. He was like, now you see where this goes up? Like, and basically just trying to hype people back up. Like, it's going to come back. Like, he's no graphics. Like,
he's a cool dude, man.
Dude, he's awesome.
I reached out to him because I'm not really a big collector of anything, right? But one of my employees ended up getting me Dave Ramsey's EntreLeadership book signed. And it was the first signed book I ever received.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so thoughtful, first off.
Yeah, it is.
That was a big book to me. Sure. Like, it really helped me understand how to lead my team and so forth.
Right. And I missed that whole era. Like, like, I didn't know about that guy until I was 40 some years old, right? So again, that there was no roadmap, there was no game plan. It was just like, oh shit, I got money in the bank, well, I might as well go buy a new Range Rover. Or just dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just dumb spending.
Gotcha.
And you get in trouble like that. But anyway, you were saying.
I was just saying that, like, so ended up getting a signed copy, and so I reached out to Mike and I was like, hey, it's more of a sentimental thing. It's not like I'm not doing this for a collector thing. It's more a sentimental thing. Your book has had a huge impact in my life. Yeah. So he signed me one. He sent me one. Signed. Yeah. And he put all these Post-it notes, and every single one had notes, handwritten notes by him in it, and then had just like a good 20 signatures. And he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to be the most signed book in your collection." Like, to think about like how like thoughtful that is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, super thoughtful guy.
And you didn't know the guy from Adam. You just shot him an email or DM?
Just shot him an email. Super nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, super nice, for sure.
Yeah.
Because he's a busy guy. I mean,
Dude,
he's a big author, so.
Crazy big. And he came on the Vault webinar. I'm like, what? How did I get this guy on? People were like, how'd you get him? I'm like, he came through Jason Spencer, who was a DJ that was kind of trained.
Because he was at Moby, right? He was, he brought him to Moby. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, what about the guy or girl that's a DJ who's a solo op, but they want to become a multi-op, but they have these like limiting beliefs around like, man, if you want it done right, do it yourself, right? Like, that's a hard roadblock to get over. What advice would you give that person?
I mean, would you, before I say my advice, would you agree though that there are some people that just need to be soldiers, right? I mean, how else would you have made a living and I have made a living if you didn't have this team of 10 or 20 people that just want to work? Yeah. Some people don't want to own a company or can't possibly do all of it, right? Because you have to do it all, right? Yeah. I mean, whether you sub it out or not, you are the primary, right? Yeah. So I would first say, ask yourself, do you just want to DJ and make money and not have to deal with the pressure of running a business? Or do you want to be an owner and have DJs under you and possibly never DJ again, or DJ very little and collect income every single week from shows? Right? So, I mean, I can go out of town for 2 weeks to wherever I want, right? And probably never even call in and make money in the middle of wedding season. Yeah. And know that the business is running well, the DJs are where they're supposed to be, they're doing their job. Yeah.
So I still enjoy doing the shows, so you actually work shows as well still.
Yeah, I still love it.
It's a choice though. It's
not absolutely. No, it is not a necessity at all.
Exactly, yeah.
I charge a little bit more, do less shows, maybe 20, 30 a year. That's all I want to do. And that gives me plenty of time to go to soccer games or the beach or Disney or whatever I want to do. You know, travel, and it's that would be my first thing.
that
It's
time
like,
freedom.
is ask yourself, do you really want to be an owner? But and then once you get that out of the way, there's nothing holding you back other than, you know, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get anywhere. That's just a fact.
For sure.
You heard me say I always have my foot on the gas. I wake up every day with some idea or something that needs to be done or some next marketing thing, or I mean, we're having a planners luncheon. I just saw the thing go off 7 days, so exactly a week from today. Every wedding planner in the Triangle area, which is Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, is coming to this taco luncheon that I planned. Me and Randy will be the hosts. No real speaker, no real agenda.
Yeah.
We have name tags for everybody. We got a big taco buffet at one of my favorite places. I'll probably say a few words. Thanks for coming. They can meet and greet each other. And I've got all the wedding planners now in one room. Got a little gift for each of them at each of their place settings. And, you know, hour and a half later, they're on their way, and we're top of mind for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Because we had a little taco lunch, right? So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff you have to be thinking about all the time, how to stay in there and how to keep the hustle going. But you just can't quit. Like once you cross over from being like a worker bee to an owner, like it's a not a hamster wheel, but it's just always, you just always have that forward momentum.
Yep.
And if you don't want to work on it or you can't work on it, you're not going to be successful. It's very, I'm not saying you can't own a company and have another job. It is very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah. Man, I've really enjoyed spending time with you.
Yeah,
I'd love for you to share, like, for people who are seeing this, where they can find you.
Sure.
Also, anything else you'd like to share with them?
Yeah, I mean, the if you want to be entertained, my Instagram is probably the most entertaining. It's just my name, @Joe Bunn. If you're wanting to be a member of the DJ's Vault, it's thedjsvault.com. Crate Acres is crateacres.com, of course. I got something brewing though. So if you're wanting to buy something in February of 2023, stand by. Do not buy something before wedding season because I've got something coming. I promise. That's all I can say about it.
Love it.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Yes,
I really appreciate
absolutely,
your time,
man. That was fun.
Definitely. Thank
Super
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.